Yeah, just obviously very disappointed. Not the outcome we wanted. I thought, told the guys afterwards, I thought the guys played with, unbelievable effort, battled the entire game. You look at the stats number-wise. I mean, we were in the, better than they were in a lot of the stats. But obviously, the critical one is the turnovers, and that hurt us. We had opportunity, we had opportunities on defense as well to get some interceptions. I think that the two things that really, allowed them to stay in that game and put us in a tough situation was the turnovers and giving up big plays. We just can't give up those big long ones. And I think every time we had momentum going, one of those happened, and it kind of extinguished that momentum a little bit. So, but once again, I told our guys afterwards, this is definitely a big learning game. Learn from this, and we will. And we'll get back to work tomorrow. Watch tape. We'll fix the problems that we had, make some corrections, and wipe it out and be ready to move on to the next opponent.
What are your first two methods?
Vita, might as well start with one of the better parts of the day. How about getting your chance and picking off the big run? I know it's not what you wanted for your game, but what can you say about getting your chance and making the most of it today?
Yeah, I mean, first off, it's all starts up front, as Coach O'Day always mentions, and I firmly believe that. O-line had a hell of a game, not just run blocking, but pass blocking as well. And so, hats off to them for allowing those holes to be created. And I'm much more of a downhill runner, so I just hit it. So it happened early and throughout the game, and just wanted to seize and make the most of my opportunity for the guys.
What can you say about giving up, you guys getting burned a little bit by those long balls?
Yeah, I mean, some games it just happens this way. I mean, we're working as a secondary to correct those mistakes, learn from our mistakes. That way, moving forward, we build a lot of confidence in the secondary and our abilities, because I know we got a great group. It's just about going out and showing it on the field. So.
And Tavita, as an offense, you guys averaged like 14 or so plays per drive. You showed that you could just pound it down the offense. I know a few ended with unfortunate turnovers. But as an offense, you have to feel good about at least some of those drives. What was it like to establish, you said before, but just a run-heavy offense, and then even Proctor mixed in some throwing?
Yeah, I mean, those good drives really set the tone for our offense. Over the past 3 weeks, I think we've established a good run game today. And just a few of those mistakes, we just got to finish those runs, finish those drives, because we had a turnover on one, field goal. I should have went in. All of us should have gone that TD, but and so we'll definitely look at those. Just finishing the drives in general. I mean, have a hell of a offense to carry that forward, and I'm just looking at the unfinished drives, and but hats off to the rest of the guys on the offensive unit, setting that up.
Yeah, then Quentin, to you, balanced game on defense to Charles, Mac, Sean, all at 6 tackles, so sort of evenly spread. What did you see from those guys? I know it's sort of good to have everyone playing well. You obviously wanted it to be better, but how'd you see the defense play?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall a lot of our guys had a pretty good day. Our D linemen specifically and our linebackers had a hell of a day. Shutting down that run, we made them one-dimensional. It's just about closing the game from there. But I mean, we got guys that can play. I think you're seeing it on the stat sheet with us making a lot of tackles and stuff and forcing them to do stuff that they otherwise wouldn't. So obviously, just gotta work it out from here.
You really can't erase the turnovers, but what can you say about Jackson and coming out there and all the things that he did right for so much of the game as a kid who just sort of stepped in?
Yeah, I mean, he's been working really hard this offseason. I stayed over the summer, and he's a sophomore. He was a sophomore, so he had a sophomore summer. And just being able to be in the weight room, and he's always watching film and always stepping up whenever he can. And so, he did a lot of good stuff out there. So I'm excited to see what else he's able to do, and so I've looked to him as a leader, a potential leader as well, and so he has a lot of good things coming for sure. So
You guys are captains. I got to ask you, I mean, how do you bounce back from this? This is a tough loss when you pretty much dominated the game. You got an Ivy League loss now. Looking down the road a little bit.
Yeah.
Just, how do you come back?
I mean, we're fighters, so when your heel's backed up, on the edge of the cliff, you gotta, push forward. So, I have complete trust in my guys that, we're gonna show out from here. I'm not really too worried about it. I know what we have. I know what we're going up against. It's just about keeping our guys calm, cool, and collected.
I gotta ask, Coach Rito, they go 2 for 10 on 3rd down. Get outgained by almost 100 yards, 11 first downs. It's gotta really stick.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Hats off to Yale and the way they kept plugging and kept fighting. They kept themselves in the game, and of course it's frustrating. That's the kind of view that told me, we put up these numbers. I'm feeling really good about that game, but I'd like told our team, man, hey, sometimes it just doesn't end the way you want it to, and now the biggest thing is just how we respond to that. I have a lot of trust in our players. We have a good group of guys. They'll bounce back. They're going to learn from this, and we got to wipe this out after we watch it tomorrow. Let's get ready for next week.
Coach, I know there was rain in the forecast. It didn't really drizzle until under the 3rd. Did that change how you guys prepared? I know you ran the ball a lot today. I don't know if that was in the game.
No. I mean, we prepared all week for it in case it was going to rain, but we really, we had a plan ready if it was going to rain, if it depend on the situation. But no, we're going to do what the defense, what we feel like is we can do, and that's what we felt like we could do today was mix it up, and I thought we did a very good job offensively of doing that.
What do you say to Jackson after he played so hard?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure his shoulders are slumping now. What do you tell the kid?
Well, it's not just on Jackson. I mean, that one first pick, he probably could have got a little bit more on it, but that second interception was not. It's not him. That's a combination of knowing got to run the right route. You got to know the coverage. So it's a combination. It's not Jackson, and that's the one thing I want to make it clear. But hey, he's a fighter. I mean, he's a tough kid. He's physically tough and mentally tough. And the one thing I can guarantee is he'll have every single individual in that locker room will be around him, surround him, and help support him. And he knows that. That is one thing we will not do on this team. We'll never point fingers, and we don't have those type of guys. We always talk about it. You're going to win together, and you're going to lose together. And that loss today, we all lost together. That's football players, coaches, everybody involved in our football program. That's a loss for all of us.
Coach, I know you said last week when their quarterback put up 250 or so, you didn't really care about what the stat was. Today, quarterback put up 239. That's more just a symbol of the big plays they had. I think it was 4 30-yard receptions.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Yeah, it's one thing if it's 239 and they have to work it down the field.
Yeah.
But when you allow, you just can't allow big plays, explosive plays like that. Especially a quarterback like that. Especially when you got to, you force them to work it down the field. You're going to get them a 3rd down situation. Now there's a couple 3rd downs we didn't get them off the field and we had chances. But it's just a momentum swing with an explosive play like that. To me, that was the biggest thing. But hats off. I mean, they go down there, they get a big play, they score, and offense gets right back out there and rides it down the football field. So I'm very, the positive out of it is I'm very excited to see that the offense responded, and they know they can go out there and they can move that ball down the field. And like I said, we got to fix a couple things that we just can't allow. You can't let that stuff happen against a team, like Yale, because they're going to hang in there, and we allowed that.
Say about your run defense. They just 3 all-Ivy running backs. They did nothing.
No. I think our guys, they do a really good job, and once again, they play good as a group. We get 2 lines of guys who come regardless of what combination we put out there, they all give it all. They play hard, they play fast, they play physical, but more importantly, they're very disciplined. They're in the spots they need to be, and that's, to me, is the difference. Obviously size-wise, Yale was much bigger than us, but our guys, they could care less about that. They're fighters, and they showed that today.
Yeah, what see out of Tavita? I know he was just talking, sort of humble about it, but huge game for him.
Huge.
Yeah. What can you say?
Nah, just that's Tavita. Tavita's one of the hardest working guys on the football team, one of the most humble guys on the football team. It was good to see him play with a little edge, play with a little energy. And I think, even though the outcome's not the way we wanted, I think that's going to be a big game for him. The confidence, I think he knows he's going to go right down. He's a north and south runner, man, and he showed that burst. And I'm really excited for him because that's the type of mentality. He's bought in on that mentality. We're going to be between the tackle type team. He's the type of guy that we want to do that, and that's what he did.
Am I reading this right? Yeah, 4 for 35. You cleaned that up.
Yeah. There's a couple though that once again in critical situations, you just, regardless if it's 5 yards, it backs you up, and now you're 2nd and 15. That's a different ball game now, So we needed 0. We needed 0.
And actually, we talked about mistakes. The snap
Yeah.
down deep doesn't show up necessarily in the
No.
stats.
We got to score. We got to score touchdowns down there. We can't kick field goals, and you can't have the ball on the half-yard line and not punch it in there.